Hey guys, welcome back to Anselmo vs. Stuff, a show where I need something to post on my channel every other day, and I'm too lazy to play a game or do anything else, so I come in here and talk on my phone to you guys. Random topics and stuff. Today, what was on my mind all day was Final Fantasy Remakes. The past of Final Fantasy Remakes, the present of Final Fantasy Remakes, and the future of Final Fantasy Remakes. Now, the first remake, I think the first remake they really did was PS1. That was Final Fantasy Anthology. I guess I was probably like 98 or something. I don't know. I'll have to check my disc when I get home. But yeah, it was a remake. I guess you can call it a remake. It was really just a port of Final Fantasy V and Final Fantasy VI. The really important thing about this release was that it was our first taste of Final Fantasy V. Actually, I think I may be wrong. I think the GBA version actually came first. Either way, there was also a GBA version of Final Fantasy VI and Final Fantasy V. On two cartridges, of course. It wasn't on the same cart. So yeah, the first one, they re-released 5, which was awesome because instead of getting 5, we got Mystic Quest. I know. I actually kind of like Mystic Quest. I know. But it was fun. It was a fun little game. I would rather we have gotten 5, because 5 is, upon playing it in 98 or 99 or whatever, it was awesome. It's an awesome game. It's definitely the lightest Final Fantasy. Definitely has more levity and comedy. It was like their first attempt at real comedy. But yeah, we got a remake of 5 and 6, and then a remake of Final Fantasy 1 and 2, which we never got 2 either. But these were pretty nice. The GBA ones were really nice. They got a new translation on it, which was nice. The PS1 ones, I don't like to play the PS1 ones just because the load times are pretty atrocious. And you hit the menu button, and it just chugs the menu open. It's like triangle. Here's your menu. That's not that bad, but when you play 60 hours in a game, you're just like, oh my god. But yeah, they continued to remake the first 2 on the PSP, and then they also remade the 4th one on PSP as well as making an interlude game and a sequel game about Cecil's kid. I have it, but I've never actually played it. I've heard it's not very good. I really like 4, so I'm kind of holding back on playing that. But yeah, they kind of stopped doing remakes pretty much after the PSP remakes of 1 and 2 and 4. Then they did a DS. I take that back. They did the DS remake of 3, which we never got as well. Which I liked. I liked 3. It was a lot like 5, but just a little more bare bones. It was okay. It was nice being able to finally play that game. It was in full 3D, and Square started this plan that unfortunately never fell through, that they were going to remake 3 on the DS, and then they remade 4 on the DS, which is a great remake. And then they were planning on remaking Final Fantasy V and remaking Final Fantasy VI on the 3DS. But as you can tell, we didn't get any of that. You see, that's really it until the Final Fantasy VII remake got announced. I'm probably missing some. Those were the main remakes. Really, the only one that I would really consider a remake would probably be the Final Fantasy 1 and 2 remake on GBA and PSP, and the Final Fantasy 4 DS remake, and the Final Fantasy 3. Now, let me roll this window down. It's kind of stuffy in here. But yeah, the 7 remake. Oh man, I get asked a lot about The Final Fantasy. What do you think about the Final Fantasy remake? That's I think a lot about that game. I think I'm more optimistic about it than most people, but I don't know if that's a good thing. But yeah, we're going to be talking about that. Me and the Cardinal. We're going to be talking about that Final Fantasy VII remake on the up and coming Critical Beard podcast. You guys catch that? But yeah, that brings me to really what I've really been thinking about lately, which is remakes. Remakes are weird because the fans only ask for the good games to be remade. Which, why? Because it's already a good game. You're just going to be disappointed. Like, let companies remake bad games or failed games. Are you ready? Are you ready for an unpopular opinion? Final Fantasy VIII remake. Boom. Because say what you will about the draw system. Say what you will about the level scaling. You know, even the junction system, which is cool in concept. Unfortunately, with use of the draw system, it's not very good. But the story is awesome. The game could use more characterization or like a retranslation. That'd be pretty cool. Just give me like a retranslated Final Fantasy VIII. Fix those draw mechanics. Fix those junction mechanics. No more level scaling. That would be awesome. That's the game I want them to remake. That's the future. That's the future of the Final Fantasy remake. That's what I want. Because honestly, 9 doesn't need a remake. I don't know. I love 6, but 6 does not need a remake. It's perfectly fine. People yammer for like a Chrono Trigger remake. It's fine. It's fine the way it is. Remake something that needs it. But you know what, really? If I had to choose one game to be remade, I want to ask everyone down in the comments, if you could get unlimited money and resources, if you could get one game remade, what would it be? Mine would be Xenogears for PlayStation 1. But that's not, that's great because that game really needs to be remade. What do you guys want to be remade? And what do you guys think about the current state of remakes and stuff? Because I don't know. It's just weird that people keep clamoring for good games to be remade when they're already good. But yeah, those are my random thoughts. Anselmo versus Stuff. Signing out. Have a good one.